In this show, learn how to optimize your mindset for achievement without sacrificing anything.
Luke's unscripted show that he does as often as he can.
Or LUSTHDAOAHC. This one's going to be about mindset, which means it's going to be very related to the last show, which had a lot to do with the psychology of goal setting. But this is a much better building upon what's going on. Starting with the first one, Keystone Habits. Now this is an idea that comes from The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. A keystone habit is going to be a strong habit that you do that's going to cascade into better habits throughout your day. And it's much better to illustrate this with an example. So consider the ultimate keystone habit, the first one that anybody ever talks about, exercise. You work up a sweat. You feel good about what you've done. And an hour later, it rolls around to your regularly scheduled pancake eating time. By the time you get to those pancakes and you're about to take your first bite, you think to yourself, but I worked out this morning. I'm going to just totally throw away all that effort from earlier if I eat this big spoonful of pancakes. See how that can change the way you start thinking about the actions you do moving forward? That's what a keystone habit is. Something that you do that's going to cascade into better things throughout your day that affect what you would or would not do. So, you pull out your pack of cigarettes. You're like, time to get my first of 100 cigarettes for the day. But I worked out this morning. Do I really want to backslash on that cardio I did today? And so on and so forth. So a couple other good keystone habits might be to make your bed, which is actually the keystone habit that Admiral McRaven recommends in his book, Make Your Bed, of course. And also getting good sleep. Just think about if you make getting sleep a good priority in your day. It'll cascade with good effects. As if you got bad sleep, that's also a keystone habit because it's a negative keystone habit because it will cascade through negative effects throughout your day. So you can see how powerful keystone habits can be, the habits that cascade into your day. Which leads into the next point, also having to do with positive cascading effects that are all part of your mindset. People. I'm going to use an example from Willpower Doesn't Work. Take a bunch of fleas and put them in a jar. Now the jar is going to have a cap, and all the fleas' hops, the fleas, are capped to this height. So when they try to jump any higher, they obviously can't. They get capped. Take one of the short jumping fleas out of that group and put it in a big jar. It's still going to jump as if it were capped. But if you add to the new jar some other fleas that aren't already acclimated to the short jumping and they can jump higher, that short jumping flea in there will reacclimate to the higher jumping height because of the higher jumping fleas around them. This is exactly how it works with people. If you put yourself around fleas that don't jump very high, you're not going to jump very high either. Make sure that you surround yourself with the type of people that are doing things that you want to do. If you want to be a striving and aspiring person, surround yourself with striving and aspiring people. If you want to be happy, surround yourself with happy people. If you want to be a junkie, etc. That was the example they gave from Willpower Doesn't Work. But you see this in many different forms in many different other books. Another form of this is called the mastermind group, where you arrange regular meetings with a group of people that are pursuing some sort of business thing that is related to what you're doing. And you guys all trade ideas and meet regularly so that you help prop up each other's business. This is really great for networking and just as well for using each other's skills and talents and platforms to help build off of each other. Mastermind group. That's an idea that was in 12-Week Year. It was also in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, the classic, and just so many other books. Everybody talks about how the people around you affect what you are able to do and how you think. Those are both really important for mindset. Keystone habits, those habits that are really big, that make a lot of impacts throughout your day based on what you decide to do or what you decide not to do, and the people that you surround yourself with. To tie these two ideas back into the psychology ideas from the show before, They had identity and persistence. And the persistence was there to maintain the identity of the goal you were searching for, or the goal you were pursuing. These two ideas from mindset are also going to fortify your identity. They're all strands wrapped around together to make a rope of identity, which is going to be the backbone of the goals that you are pursuing, of the goal type. Because the identity rope fortifies that pursuit by making you coherent in your psychology and your actions, which as an added benefit gives you confidence. Keystone habits that line up with your identity. Like from before, we were talking about being a cook. That was going to be the identity you had. A keystone habit for that might be you cook a meal every day. So you go out and you make sure that you're always going to be buying new things from the store to cook, to work on your cooking skill. That might be a keystone habit that's going to impact the things you do throughout your day positively. And the people you surround yourself with are obviously going to be cooks and chefs or sushi people or other disciplined people pursuing those types of things. Because obviously mindset has a big part to play with psychology, so those all tie in really well with the ideas from before. I hope you found that useful. Both the two new ideas and then trying to tie those back in with the old stuff. I felt like the last show was a little bit longer than it should have been, so I tried to make this one a little bit shorter. We're still working on maps of meaning. I just had to make sure that I got something out. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to make sure I get something out every week. And I have tons of stuff backed up, so we're never going to run out of stuff, but just keep waiting for maps of meaning, because I'm putting everything I've got into that one, and I'm going to try and get this right. So I don't actually know how long that's going to end up taking, but we're going to make sure we're putting out stuff every week nonetheless. Thanks for watching. If you have any ideas for unscripted shows that you'd like for me to do a topic on, we've read about 60 books at this point, so I'm sure we'll be able to cobble together some ideas from any of these books into whatever you're interested in, or at least we can go for it, try it. So go ahead and leave a comment if you want to do anything like that. You can also leave comments for books that you still want us to do for our 3 Big Ideas show when that comes back after we're done with Maps of Meaning. And anyways, I hope putting this stuff into practice ends up being a better deal for you. And go check out the website. Until next time.